You are aware that the military operations of Shur-i-Nazar have started from the northern regions recently, and now we have reached the areas of Cherekar and Bagram. When our operations reached Cherekar and Bagram, we could have entered Kabul with our forces. But we did not do so, because there are different parties fighting in Afghanistan and there are different commanders. We wanted the issue of Kabul to be resolved not through war, but through dialogue with all parties and commanders. For this purpose, I assigned this issue to the jihadist leaders to reach an agreement on the formation of an Islamic government. For this reason, political meetings have been continuing among the leaders in Peshawar for several days. We were also waiting for the final decision of the leaders here, but the Islamic Party led by Hekmatyar warned every day that it wants to enter Kabul by force and attack. We made our last efforts to dissuade the Islamic Party from this decision and asked them not to launch a military attack on the people of Kabul. The jihadist leaders reached an agreement among themselves last night and announced their final decision on the transitional government. But in the meantime, only Hekmatyar has not accepted this decision. He is still thinking of a conspiracy in Kabul. The Islamic Party has created a number of unarmed people inside the city because it cannot break the defense belt of the regime in a military way. Therefore, using deception, it has entered its people into Kabul in the guise of civilians. They have been armed by the Kalki faction that works within the current government and has previously allied with them. I am on the line.
Sorry, Kalki party, yeah. These people without arms, which are entered in Kabul, they got armed from Kalki party.
Transfers are underway by air. The military groups on military trucks will start their movement after half an hour, and God willing, they will reach you by night. Did you hear my voice? I will send the first flight of senior officials to make the announcement. Is it heard? That's right. If you have nothing else to say, I will get to work. Goodbye. Don't worry, I will get to work. Everything will be sorted out regularly. Goodbye. The military convoy is moving. Inform Commander Asadullah. Transfer carry by car to the same specified area. The latest report is that the Islamic Party has just entered Kabul and has disrupted the order of the city and even attacked some residential areas. There is a possibility of internal clashes at any moment. It is scheduled that the coup will be jointly launched tonight by the remnants of Dr. Najib, the Kalki faction, and the alliance of Gulbuddin Hekmatyar. Now I ask for your permission that I have to arrange my work.
Today, on the 5th of April, the Jihadi Leadership Council held an extraordinary meeting and decided that, in order to ensure security in the city of Kabul and protect the lives, property, and honor of its citizens, all Mujaheddin and armed forces are ordered to obey the orders of the Kabul Security Commission, which is composed of the Honorable Dr. Najibullah Mujaheddin, the Honorable General Abdul Rahim Wirdak, the Honorable Commander Abdul Haq, Commander Sadiqullah, Commander Shir Alam, and the armed groups of Ahmadshah Massoud, the Minister of Defense of the Islamic government. They should not disobey orders and should ensure security in the city and strategic centers of Kabul. It is emphasized that Ahmadshah Massoud should immediately begin his work. All the best. Hazrat Sebgatullah Mujaheddin, President of Transitional Government of Afghanistan.
آغاز کند و سلام حضرت سبقت الله مجددی رئیس دولت اسلامی افغانستان.
Move, go, go, go. Where are you going? Do you know? When you enter Kabul, be careful of your morals, your wanderings, your worship, your reading of the Quran, and in all your daily activities. You should not do anything in Kabul that would cause shame or disgrace to us. God willing, it is understood? The general commander of all units is Commander Panah. Ahmadshah is also with him. Wherever you are assigned a task, you must perform your assigned task firmly and steadily. Do not let your relatives gather around you there and distract you, or that you go to the homes of your friends and relatives and get busy with invitations and parties. Do not let anyone, neither friends nor relatives, approach them. Tell anyone who comes to see one of them that now is not the time to meet and they should leave. Please refrain from unnecessary wanderings in Kabul. Understood? May God bless you.
Following the establishment of the Islamic government under the accord of jihadist leaders, including Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, who was designated as Prime Minister, the Mujaheddin government assumed full control. However, rather than assuming his position in Kabul and commencing his official duties, Hekmatyar persisted in his attacks on the city, causing the deaths of thousands of Kabul residents. He subsequently incited and allied with other armed groups against the Mujaheddin government, fracturing Kabul into fragmented territories under the control of rival factions. These groups engaged in fierce clashes, and with each major confrontation, new alliances emerged among the hostile factions, rendering the efforts of Ahmadshah Massoud's government forces to restore order futile. The incessant infighting among the Mujaheddin groups resulted in the tragic loss of thousands of Kabul residents, the destruction of neighborhoods, and the forced displacement of hundreds of families.
We decided definitively not to enter Kabul. Right here we decided that we would not go inside the city. These friends insisted that we should go and take power unilaterally and then invite others. I opposed and said that if we take power unilaterally and then invite others, all order will be disrupted. Because each province will surrender to any group on its own, tanks and military equipment will all be looted. Let's not do this. Although I had no trust in the leaders of the parties, I knew that there was no other authority except them. It is better that we reach an understanding with them in any way on the establishment of a transitional government and then elections and a democratic government. This was our final decision. The transformation must take place without bloodshed. We will not enter Kabul either, and the army officers will also keep their weapons and equipment. We will force Dr. Najib to step down from power. We will go to the gates of Kabul ourselves and stand there. Then we will tell the leaders that everything is going well peacefully, so you, the leaders of the 7 parties, agree among yourselves that a period of transitional government and then elections. We implemented this program step by step. In the blink of an eye, we captured Salong and then the province of Parwan without bloodshed. Not even a single person was killed. Bismillah Khan captured Bagram without killing a single person. We took over the 40th Brigade and the 2nd Brigade. This is where the enemy's main forces fell into our hands. Now the strong air force, including fighter jets and helicopters, has also fallen into our hands. This is where the foreign minister of the Najib government came to us and said, "Come on, let's build a joint government together." What was the name of his foreign minister? Abdul Wakil. Yes. He came to me and sat in front of me, raised his hands 3 times and said, "We surrender, surrender, surrender. Now this government belongs to you and congratulations to you. But be aware of our fate as well. Here again, my brothers and comrades insisted that we declare the government for ourselves, that we have taken it. I again said that I never want to do such a stupid thing. There are different parties, different tribes, and even the feet of different countries involved in this country. It is better to bring the feet of the 7 jihadi leaders themselves so that there is no bloodshed. So I went to the transmitter and informed them that the regime has surrendered. I congratulate you on this news. I spoke with the same leaders, including Sibghatullah Mujaheddin Abdulrab Rasul Sayaf, and said that now I have no conditions on my part and the forces under my command. You sit down and reach any agreement you want, subject to the establishment of a transitional government, and then we go to the elections. I conveyed these topics to them through the transmitter. It was right here that the then rulers of Pakistan saw that in this way all their dreams were destroyed. This country will independently become the master of its own destiny. They will go to the elections, then to democracy and stability. With this situation, all these experienced military generals from the previous government, on the one hand, and on the other hand, the Mujaheddin soldiers and the remaining military equipment such as armored tanks and various weapons. So what will Pakistan do with this situation? What will their interests be, etc.? From the past, a group in Kabul has been talking about the conquest and overthrow of the regime, which has not had good relations with them. While all of their program was that Gulbuddin Hekmatyar should come to power. This is where one of the ISI generals named Junjua quickly comes to Hekmatyar and tells him not to make a mistake. This is the right opportunity to take action and start the war. If you miss this opportunity and let stability come about, you will never be relevant again. It is here that Hekmatyar also comes quickly at the behest of that general and mobilizes his people and tells them that we are going to conquer Kabul.
Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, backed by Pakistan, persisted in this endeavor to topple the Mujaheddin government. However, when the ISI recognized Hekmatyar's waning influence and diminishing utility, they initiated the search for a suitable replacement.
Afghanistan 1373.
Afghanistan, 1994. The failure of the Herat talks, aimed at preventing the continuation of the war and establishing diplomatic and political ties with a world that had largely overlooked Afghanistan since 1991, provided the enemies of the Afghan people with a pretext to continue the imposed wars in the country. The Taliban, whose inception was discreetly orchestrated with the support of intelligence agencies from major powers, commenced their operations in Spin Boldak, proclaiming the eradication of warlordism, commanderism, and a pervasive gun culture. This move swiftly gained popular support in the southwestern region of Afghanistan. Some perceived the Taliban as God's army, while others hailed them as angels of peace. This perception fueled their remarkable advance into various areas, including Maidan-e-Shar, the gateway to Kabul. Consequently, they encamped behind Kabul's western gate, demanding the government's disarmament. Ahmadshah Massoud, in a solitary quest for peace and security, ventured to Maidan-Shar and engaged in negotiations with the Taliban's Supreme Council. However, this group harbored no genuine intentions of restoring peace, rendering the meeting inconclusive. Massoud returned empty-handed, and the Taliban, seeking to intensify the siege, bypassed Kabul through Maidan-Shar and Char-Asiab. During this period, Gulbuddin Hekmatyar's forces lost their military base in Char-Asiab.